So today we're doing the mounting the optic to the Canik. I'm going with a 507 comp that I had off my custom P320 build that I don't really use. It's more of a custom theme gun. So I'll probably do this in steps. So I'll do some edits and stuff. This is my first time really doing it, so I don't have everything super prepared here. But I do believe you have to start with the T10 bit. You can get it out. Looks like everything's kind of stuck in there. You got to go to your little toolkit here. So we're going with the little T10 bit. Put it in your little gun, and it looks like we first just got to get these two off here. So there we go, and just kind of hand tight on there. So we're going to remove this plate, right? So we can put one of these adapter plates here in front of me, and then mount the optic to the plate. So first things first, let's go ahead and remove these two screws. Nope, not ready to go. So as you can see, I'm just taking this off. I know I was kind of blocking the view with my hand a second ago. And this little bit came off. So any little T10, any torque screw, right, will take this off. You don't necessarily have to use, and be careful, there is a washer on there also, a little tiny metal washer. So you want to keep that together. So it looks like your toolkit does get spares. These are the exact same with two other dual washers, maybe because they're easily, you can easily lose those. So there's one there. Now we're gonna go ahead and get the other one off. I'm just getting my money's worth and using their tools. All right, so I believe I should be able to see that there. It's just these two screws. Remember, be careful with that washer. They are a little bit longer. I kept stopping a little too early. Once you see it kind of wiggle back and forth, and you know you're out. There it goes. All right. So, and there's the washer still there. You guys can see that. So be careful if you don't remember that they're there. You may lose it. But let me go ahead and get the. So there's the optic there, or the optic plate with the factory. I'm just trying to get that washer out of there, so I don't forget about it. There it goes. Put that back on there. I do believe we use these again to mount the other bracket. So here's the factory OEM with the rear adjustable sight that we'll be getting rid of. All right, there we go. So now essentially what we're going to do is figure out which one of these plates matches the Holosun footprint. I believe I saw the RO2 is what fits according to the normal SFX rival. So I'm assuming if this is the same top frame, I don't know why it would be different plates or different numbers there, and then we'll just kind of have to fit it in there like that. Or maybe I do have it upside down. Maybe the numbers go in the front. I didn't really see a video on that. There you go, but that looks like that matches holes there. So those two bigger holes is what you would mount your plate to the slide, and then the other holes that you can see, that aluminum or that silver, is what you use for the optic. So you don't use the instructions in the booklet and everything, and some of the other videos tell you do not use the optic screws to mount this adapter. You want to use the ones that just came off of the gun for the factory one to mount the adapter to the slide. You can go ahead and use the optic screws and mount here, but don't use any provided optic screws for any other mounting plates or anything in case you have it. Do not use the optic screws for that. Only use the optic screws to mount to this plate specifically with those individual screws that come with the optic. Screws for the plate, again, to go onto the slide, use the ones that just came off, or for whatever reason you're using the spares from the toolkit, same little longer screws with the little metal washer. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and pause here, make sure this is the correct one. Well, I'll just go here. So I'm looking at the bottom of here. I do see that it has a little thumb rest. Well, not the thumb rest, but the little holes here where these little tabs go in. And I do believe all the Holosuns were the same. There we go. Perfect fit. Holes there. So for the Holosun footprint, it is the R02 plate. All right, so here's your little nubs. They go in there, and then these two holes match up perfect with these two holes. So remember, the optic plates will screw this to here, which I have somewhere. I removed them. They're right here. These right here are the originals from the optic. So those will go back on the optic to the plate. And then I'm using these originals from the original plate to mount this new R02 plate. All right. So let's go ahead and get that done. I'm gonna go ahead and put this plate down first. They didn't have any Loctite on the factory. Well, these that just came out, so I'm not gonna put any now and just see how it goes. I probably will put blue Loctite on the screws that actually mount the optic to this plate. So again, with the T10 provided, and they do sell some aftermarket. I can't remember the other company, and I'm just getting these in there, that sells a thinner plate to bring that to bring your red dot a little bit lower. I think it's like 1/4 of an inch or even less than that, to get a slightly lower profile. And I'm just gonna hand tight, because it looks like they just kind of made this flush with the top of the slide, and they also have enough space for that charging handle to screw in through the side. So there are thinner plates out there. I can't remember the company name. If you want a slightly lower profile, bring that dot down a little bit, so you're not having to make so many adjustments if your red dot is too high or whatever. All right, so I'm just turning these to their hand tight. And again, you don't have to use this bit. Any torque screw bit will fit the T10. Like I said, I'm just trying to get my money's worth and use their own tools that came with the pistol. So there's the plate R02 on here. So now I'm going with the Holosun 507. It's a little dirty. It just came off my other pistol, but I'll clean it a little bit later, or right now off camera. All right. So it's got the holes there, your little stumps right here, and to match that up perfect, drops right in, and then you can see those two holes match perfect. So I'm gonna dab a little bit of blue Loctite on these two that came with it. There's some on there, but it's already kind of dried. And then I think most instructions or anything you see, they said they want you want to give it like 24 hours to set or whatever. I'm not sure if I'm gonna wait that long, because I'm probably going to the range here to finish breaking in this Canik now that I have the optic and sight that in. There's one. Let me get another one. But we'll see if it gives me any issues. If it does, then I'll come back and put some more blue Loctite. And oh, here we go, fat fingers. That's fat tactical for you. But yeah, if I see that they're backing out or starting to get loose or wobble, then I'll probably come back, take it off, put some more blue Loctite, and then let it sit for a couple days. I always make a mess with this stuff. Not a big deal. All right. But I definitely don't want to get blue Loctite, discolor anything. All right, so let me set these down here. Move this out of the way. Okay. See, this is where I need a nice little pistol stand. I don't have one yet, so you could just hold this gun for me. But let's go ahead and drop this first guy in there. There we go. And I'm just gonna hand tighten these two. Not a big deal. And then I wipe off some of that excess blue Loctite that's getting all over the place there. But of course, you want to put some blue Loctite there. And again, it's just the 2 screws. I'm using the Holosun provided tool. I don't know what size it is, but it looks like it's also a T. It looks like that popped off. This popped off. I didn't have a good grip. It didn't like strip or anything. There we go. It's pretty tight. And let me go ahead and get some of this excess. Probably got my big ass head in the way of the video. This excess blue Loctite out of there. So that's a pretty simple install. All right, you just got to figure out the footprint. The booklet tells you the footprints of the of each one, each numbered plate, like the R06, R04. It tells you on there. It doesn't specifically say the Holosun on there. It says the Trijicon RMR. So I think those are the 2 same footprints. Or you can just physically look at your optic and see which one matches there. But that's all there is to it. Still got some blue Loctite here and there. Just kind of give it a little clean over. But that was it. So you mount this plate first using the Canik screws, this bottom mounting plate, the adapter plate, and then use the optic screws to mount this optic on there, the Holosun provided ones. All right, I can't stress that enough. I'd hate for people to use the incorrect ones looking at my video, and then they damage or fuck up their threads, and then they gotta somehow get that fixed. I'd probably panic if it was me. I know how I get. But that's it. You know what? Let's see how this little charging handle feels. I haven't seen anybody use any kind of Loctite on this thing. I don't know if I'm gonna run it with it. I'm just gonna put it on here for visual purposes and see how it actually works. If I decide to keep it on here, it does clear, so it is out of the way of the optic. If it works really well, and I see that that it's maybe causing some vibration, the recoil is making it loosen, then I'll probably add some blue Loctite to that too. But let's take a look. No magwell. Let's see how this works. A little charging handle. Nice big window on that 507 comp. Oh wow, that does actually work. I was kind of worried that it wasn't going to be sturdy enough. Because if you see my other videos, I mean, I can definitely rack it here, but these are a little more stronger defined lines, a little more rugged than I would like. And again, I got computer fingers, so I come from up here where it's a little easier on the fingers until I get used to this. But wow, yeah, competition, speed racers, just get one finger on there, almost like an AR, and pull that back. That is a lot easier, but I don't know if this is going to interfere with the holsters that I use or what you're going to use, so keep that in mind. I'm not sure about competition rules adding this. I'm assuming maybe adding this maybe throws you into open. I'm not sure. I know the optic and the mag will throw you into, I believe, limited. So I'm not sure. The more you add on will throw you into the open class. But there it is. Nice and easy one. Make sure we're good to go. This thing on. Right, we got battery. Yep, there it is. It wasn't on at first. And there we go. Let's see how. That's a nice big window there. This is always hard to do. On the camera. It is so hard to get that to focus on that damn thing. Maybe I'll turn down the brightness some. Now you can get a better picture of it. Nice big window on that dot. So we'll see how it runs. We'll take it to the range later, test it out, zero that in, see how it goes. So as always, drop your comments, feedback, any questions, anything like that I can help you guys with. Let me know, and I appreciate y'all time checking it out.